What is up, you guys? It's your special friend godmother, and I am back. Okay, except for I'm not back with another read. I am back with a let's talk about it. Okay, so we finna go ahead and get into it, and let's talk about it. I've been noticing I've been dragging the intros real long, giving explanations. Today don't really got a long explanation. I was watching Hourglass by Jazz today, and she. I don't even remember what she was talking about, to be honest. I remember, but just not at this very moment. But yeah, it led me to thinking about accountability and your shadow side and accepting, owning, living up to your shadow side. So we finna go ahead and talk about it. So I don't even know where to start. I guess I have been a little triggered. I've been a little triggered. Honestly, I don't even know why. I feel like it hasn't just been one thing. It's been like a couple things. It's also been the fact that my birthday just passed. I feel like birthdays are always difficult for me every single year. Every single year I'm realizing the lack of friends that I have, the lack of community, the lack of community. Is that what I probably just said that, but that's the only word I can think of for it. But the lack of community and support that I really do have. Like, I have a couple people who like reached out and told me happy birthday, but for the most part, I didn't really hear from people on my birthday. Now, mind you, I didn't post. I didn't say, hey, it's my birthday, because I was busy all day from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. So I didn't get a chance to post, but it was still just a very eye-opening experience. Now, a week before my birthday, I was seeing all on TikTok, the spiritual girlies were talking about why they don't celebrate birthdays and how it's a constraint to make us feel some type of way about ourselves, about getting older, and etc., etc. I was fighting back and forth about if I wanted to believe that, because I'm like, for me, regardless of how it ended up turning out, or what I don't like, or what friends was there, what friends wasn't there, it's still, I was born on this day. I came onto earth this day. I'm here. But yeah, so basically, I'm here, and I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate my own growth for whatever has happened within the year. But yeah, so what just happened now? We gonna talk about that. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. Can y'all see? You see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Period. So basically, she was talking about being triggered and how having the right people around you will trigger you. They will hold you accountable and all these other things. And it got me to thinking about who around me holds me accountable, or to be honest, y'all, I'm thrown off. I just really am. And I guess this is a part of my rawness. This is a part of, I be going back and forth like, do I talk too much posting certain things that I've been through or what I've experienced? And a part of my ego is like, well, you shouldn't. You're not going to be able to always do that. So when you have a family, you're not going to be able to discuss every single thing that go wrong. You know, especially not right away, especially not when it's fresh. All of these things. I don't know where this video is going because, like I said, I'm very triggered. I'm very thrown off. So, I really, really, really be trying. I promise you I do. It's like, I don't want to just nitpick other people. I don't want to, with me being so spiritual, I feel like I read energy, you know, so I'm always able to pick on somebody else's bull or they red flags or what they got going on. But I do that for me too. That's one thing about it. Like, I may not, when I come on these videos and I'm telling y'all about myself, it may seem very superficial about what I'm talking about. But that's because I can't say everything, or everything can't be really explained. So it's like y'all just get the superficial version of what I can tell y'all. But in real life, I'm constantly holding myself accountable. I'm constantly aware of the things that I do. And I think that's a little bit of why I've been so triggered, because I'm in a space of transition. So now I'm trying to do things differently. It's like I'm so much more hyper aware of my actions. When I get upset or when I get triggered, it's not that it's not the person's fault for triggering me, but it's my responsibility on how I handled it, how I accepted the trigger, how I allowed the trigger to play out. And she said something, Hourglass by Jazz. She was like, if you allow somebody to trigger you, you didn't have that peace within yourself already. You didn't have nothing to do with them. And that kind of was like a, you know, because one thing about it, I feel like people always try to tell you about yourself. And I think that's one thing that, like, I've had bad. Like, telling people about themselves, because I don't like being hurt. So if you're doing something that's going to hurt me, or that is potentially hurting me, or that's causing me distress or making me feel some type of way, I'm going to tell you. We're going to communicate about it. I'm going to talk to you about it. But it's crazy because I'm a person who also asks. Like, I've asked multiple people, multiple friends, multiple partners, well, what can I do? What do you want? How do you want to be loved? Or how do you want to be treated? I've asked my friends, are y'all the kind of friends that want to talk every day? Do y'all need y'all space? Like, okay, and whatever my friends need, I try to accommodate that. When I'm at work, I try to be the best worker. I try to be the hardest worker. I know when I'm fucking up. I know when I didn't clean this up. I know when I should have did that. When I was rude to this customer, I be so aware. And because I'm so aware, it kind of makes me a little bit harder on myself, because I want to be different in that moment. Instead of just accepting, hey, you were triggered. That trigger was a test. And whether you passed or failed, you're aware that you were triggered. And now next time you can do it differently. Sometimes it take a couple triggers. Sometimes it take a couple tests. But, like, I want to, and I know that I'm a work in progress. I'm never going to be 100% perfect. Even when I'm 40, 50, 70, probably 80, however long I live, I'm going to still maybe have goals. And, well, I want to do this next week. I want to constantly be looking forward to something. I was triggered by Sun. She has gotten readings from me before. We've been connected for years, been commenting on my videos for years. But they had commented on a video yesterday, and I was triggered. Y'all know, I always tell y'all when y'all comments trigger me, because it's for my growth. This is not me throwing shots at y'all or being upset with y'all. Even if I'm upset in a moment, I always become self-aware at whatever point. So I was triggered. The comment said, don't be moved out of fear, even if it's motivating. And at the time, I was already having a bad day. I already had a lot of shit going on. I didn't want to be told that how I was healing wasn't right. Even if she was right. Even if I shouldn't have been moving out of fear. But it's like, that's my process. It's not going to always be like that. And it's not necessarily a fear. Oh, something bad is going to happen. It's just the fear of God. And a part of me feels like that's normal. Fear is normal. A lot of people try to... I remember when I was first on my spiritual journey, I was friends with these girls, and they basically was like, you should live life with no fears. You should live life with no fears. And I just remember being like, okay, like, I want to try to be like you. I want to get to the point where I'm like you, where I live with no fears. And I just, for a while, I remember trying to live up to how she was and not have these fears and da-da-da. And it sucks to say it, but I think fear and discernment go hand in hand. I don't think it necessarily, maybe the word that I was using as in fear, because she was, like I said, she was 100% right. I don't want to be fearful that something bad is going to happen if I don't do this, and that's why I'm going to do it, right? But at the same time, you think about your kids. You tell your kid, I don't know if son has kids, but this is just an example. You tell your kids, hey, if you don't finish this homework, you're not going to the fair. You're not getting on the rides. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. And it's not necessarily to put fear in them. Oh my God, be nervous or be da-da-da. But it's an incentive. You want this. So you have to do this if you want this. Your behavior has to match this. You have to get this work done if you want this. And I feel like that's what I was saying. That's what God was telling me. If I want this, I have to show God this. If I want this, I have to be willing to sacrifice, because that's what love is. Love is sacrifice in any form. If you love your child, you're going to sacrifice your body. If you love your child, you're going to sacrifice your time. If you love your job, you're going to sacrifice time at home. You're going to sacrifice time on the weekends. If you love your family members, okay, you probably tired, but you're going to sit on that phone and let them vent. Or you probably don't really got the money, but you know your cousin down and out, and her kid need diapers. So you're going to sacrifice, and you're going to maybe not eat tonight, but give it to the whatever. Love is sacrifice. And in that moment, that's what God was teaching me. Sacrifice. And it felt like if I didn't sacrifice, I would be living in what I'm already living in, which is a fear for me, because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this space mentally. I don't want to be not believing in myself, or not holding myself accountable, or feeling sorry for myself, throwing myself pity parties. I don't want to do that. And because I know I don't want to do that, that's the fear. I don't want to be here anymore. And it's not the fear of this is so horrible. It's not. It's just that I love myself so much that I want to love myself out of this. I want to get past this. So at first, when I first read the comment, I'm like, girl, bye. Like, bye. Normally I like every comment. I didn't like it. I'm like, okay, bye. 30 minutes later, I had gotten a shower. I was frustrated about some other stuff. I felt like I ain't have nowhere to just be by myself. Nowhere to just scream without being looked at as crazy. If I go outside, it's neighbors. You know, if I'm in a house, I live with my peoples. So it was just like, I didn't have a space to just let it out. And I told myself I'm not smoking. So it was kind of like I was just sitting there and I was fuming, and I couldn't get out of my irritation until I started cleaning up. I started moving my body. I started to get out of my head and allow what was in my head to now physically move through my body. So all this anger or all of this stuff, it was like physically I was decluttering my room, but mentally, spiritually, I was decluttering those triggers and those thoughts, and I was figuring shit out. So when I came back to her comment, I read it again. I'm like, you're right, because you right, but you wrong. Not saying it like that, but it's like, you right because I don't want to move out of fear. You are absolutely right. However, fear and discernment, like you said, even if it's motivating, fear and discernment is a part of my journey, is a part of what I need. Because I've been so naive all my life, I've allowed certain things to happen because I didn't have a fear. Not because I didn't have fears, but because I didn't know to be scared. I didn't know that was something bad, or I didn't know that was something negative, or I didn't know that this is how people are. I be so oblivious to stuff. Like, I'm telling you, I have so much innocence to me, because of how I was raised, because I was very sheltered. It didn't matter what was going on in the world. To me, I was safe. So all those fears and those worries and those came from traumatic situations. And it's not that I'm scared of anything, because I'm going to take anything that comes near me, whether it's homelessness, being broke, raped, molested, car breaking down in the middle of the street, getting lost, getting stranded. When I tell you I've been through it all, so it's not a fear like, oh my God, I can't handle this, I'm going to die, But it's just like, I ain't never going back there. This eviction on my name, that I don't never want to feel this again. It's not, oh, I'm fearful that it's going to happen again, but at the same time, it is. So now I'm going to grind and I'm going to work hard every chance I get, because I don't never want this shit to happen again. I don't never, ever want it to happen again. So I'm never going to put myself in that position again, to be relying on a nigga, to be helpless, to throw myself a pity party, to grieve the way I did. It's a part of the process. So my situation taught me discernment. Hey, you handled it like that, that don't mean it was bad, but now we're going to handle it a little bit better, right? So in that instance, I was triggered and I was thankful, and I'm like, damn, like, you're right. I don't want to process things and do things out of fear. And what made me say that she was right, because I had commented on a girl's post like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I don't know, her name is Ayana Infusion. She make like all natural skin products, hair products on Instagram. I absolutely adore her, absolutely love her. She got a fro, she's so cute. And I accidentally made a comment on her post. She was like, I didn't have the energy to explain what I was buying my coconuts for and my aloe for to the lady at the flea market. And I commented like, you should always explain. You know, you could have got a customer, and you know, sometimes we assume that people don't care, or people don't have the same knowledge, or they won't be interested. However, you can always use certain opportunities as a chance to educate somebody else. So, but just because she white, it doesn't mean that she don't need to know about these African products, or it don't mean she don't need to know about the benefits of aloe, or what your products can do, because maybe she don't want your products, but maybe her daughter do, or something like that. That's what I commented. And she commented back this long paragraph and was like, hey, thanks for your comment. I'm a human, and I literally did not have the energy to explain at the moment. And in my mind, I'm like, you right, but you're wrong. You right, but you're wrong, Bookie. Because it's like, we say we don't got the energy, but make yourself have the energy. If you out and you've been going through depression or something like that, you had a hard ass day. Just like me yesterday, I had a hard ass day. I could say I didn't have the energy to do this, and this. But once I got out of my head and stopped telling myself, oh, I don't got the energy, I don't got no space to be by myself, I'm in this room and I'm by myself. That's all the space I need. I'm telling myself I can't scream. I'm telling myself that I can't get out of this irritation. But that's just because I'm in my own head. That's just because I'm upset. That's just because I'm pissed off. That's just because I'm experiencing something. So in my mind, that's what I feel. So that's bond. That's law. If I feel I don't got the energy, that's just how I feel. My feeling is valid. But at the same time, what if that exchange could have given you energy type situation? So it was a trigger moment for me. It was a full circle moment where I was able to realize that we all have a shadow side. We all have things and triggers and moments that we're working through and we're trying to make better, we're trying to make peace with, and it's perfectly normal. Like, I feel like I don't want to keep being in my mind trying to reach this level of perfection and telling myself that I'm not good enough until I reach that. I want to be so aware of my triggers, so aware of myself, that I embrace the change. I embrace the test. I embrace the things that happen that force me out of my shell, or that force me out of my solitude, that force me out of my old ways of being, that forces me out of my habits. Of course, I don't continuously want to be forced, but at the same time, if I'm not moving, God, I give you permission to work in my life. God, I give you permission, and I give you sovereign over my life to move me in the way, in the direction that you see fit, Lord. This is not of me. My decisions, my actions, the things that I am doing, Lord, they are not of me. I give them to you. I give everything to you. What I'm doing, this ain't on my own accord. How I'm moving, the things that I say, the things that I post, this is God. And now that I'm able to see that, I'm also able to see that God is also in my darkness. God is also in me when I'm fucking cussing people out, when I'm mad, when I'm upset, when I'm scared, when I'm fearful, when I'm trembling, when I don't know, when I'm confused, when I'm sad, when I'm frustrated, when I'm happy. God is with me during all my moments. And I think what this video was, the purpose of this video was to let y'all know that, like, we have to also accept our shadow side, the side of us that's not so pretty, the dark side, because if we don't accept us, there's no way we can manifest friends and business partners and lovers and children who will accept us if we do not accept ourselves. There's no way we can have those connections, and I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm learning to accept me, triggers and all, faults and all, flaws and all, me. People have literally left me in my brokenness, and I just feel like, thank you, because you leaving me had to teach me that I'm worthy. I don't deserve to be left. I don't give a fuck what you was going through, because I'm going through shit too. I ain't leave you. So I'm learning to realize that, like, we are our own people. Sometimes people leave you because they're triggered. Sometimes people leave you because that's what's best for them. So now when things are arising for me like a mirror, and I'm able to see myself, my good, my bad, it's like all I can do is accept me. I can't sit here and wallow in the bad shit, or the negative things I've done, or this and this and that, or this and this and that, or I did this. Like I noticed in the last video, I was like, oh, I complained so much, and I was a bitch, and I was nitpicking, and that's why niggas left me. Fuck them niggas. What? I'm a woman. I was grieving. I've been through a lot in my lifetime. And if a nigga can't handle me, that ain't my fault. I don't give a fuck if I got an attitude. How the fuck are you treating me to cause me to have an attitude? Right? So it's about self-accountability. It's about self-awareness, and not dogging yourself out for being aware of yourself. Right? Like, I'm aware that I make mistakes, and I'm aware that I want to change that, but I'm also aware that I'm not no fucking robot. I don't have no programming. I have to literally train myself to think differently. I have to train myself to not allow what people think about me to be what I think about me. I have to train myself to not get upset, to not allow outside triggers to infiltrate my energy. These are things that I have to work towards. I'm a human being. Things are going to happen as they happen. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fuck up. And I just appreciate y'all for being a part of this journey with me. Okay? If you fuck up, give it to God. If you mess up, if you make a mistake, Lord, give it to God. Because there is nothing that God cannot fix. There is nothing that God cannot make better. There is nothing that God cannot heal. Our bodies naturally heal themselves. So your mind can naturally heal itself as well. All that darkness is just waiting for a light to be shined on it. So sometimes in order for that darkness to get up out of you, you need somebody to come shine that light. You need somebody to trigger you. Even if that person not gonna be in your life forever, sometimes you need a motherfucker to come in and do some exact shit that you be doing to make you see, oh, I don't want to live like that no more. I don't want to do that shit. If this how I feel for a motherfucker to be treated how I be treating them, oh, I'm good on that. Yeah, I'm good on that. It's about self-love, and it's about boundaries. It's about boundaries, and I feel like now is the test where it's like, okay, did you mean what you said? Did you mean what you said? Because now it's like, okay, God is triggering me in a way where it's like, you keep smoking. You said you don't want to smoke, so like, what's up? I'm finna trigger you. I'm finna put an addict in your life. I'm finna do this. You said you want love, you say you want a relationship, but I'm finna put a nigga who gonna put his hands on you in your life. You gonna stay or you gonna walk away? Bitch, when I tell you I walk, look at me. I still got scratches on my neck from a nigga putting his hands on me. Recently. That's some shit y'all didn't hear. That's some shit y'all didn't know. Right? But it's like I'm constantly sharing with y'all because it's important. I could have been a female. This man was praying with me every day. This man was speaking life into me, being good to me. But God said, do you love yourself? Or do you just want a man or somebody to love you? Because at the point where you put somebody before you or what you already stood on, you already lost. So I had to ask myself, how much do I love me? Because I was already triggered in that way before. So if I'm being triggered again, I must then learn my lesson. I must be dating the same type of nigga. Okay, cool. Do I love me enough to let go and detach? Because I could not love me and be like, well, it was just one time. Or I did this. Or I was yelling first. Or this has happened. Girl, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm going to hold myself accountable for all the nasty, foul shit I said and did. But also as a woman, I'm going to walk the fuck away. Because I already know what that could look like. Me forgiving you that one time could turn into some real bullshit. So you know what? I'm going to love myself past that phase in my life. And that's what God will do. God will send you little tests. God will send you, what you call them, gents. That's what Hourglass by Jazz call them, gents. God will send you demons. And God will send you angels. God will send you everything. Animals, signs, signals, synchronicities, numbers. God gonna send you everything. It's up to you what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to take, what you're willing to throw away, what ain't good for you. It's up to you to use your fear and your discernment about, hey, nah, even though God gave it to me, it ain't for me. Right? Think about all the time somebody done gave you something, somebody that helped you. Everybody that helped you ain't helping you for a good reason. Some people that help you just to see, oh, okay, I'm going to show her my good side, but then I'm going to start needing shit from her. I'm going to ask her for money one time, and if she give it to me, guess what? That means I can keep asking her. I'm going to put my hands on this bitch one time, and if she accept me back, I'm going to keep doing that shit. I'm going to cheat on this hoe one time, and if she accept me back, it's cool for me to continue doing that. You knocked on the door, but I didn't say come in. No. You can come in a minute when I'm done. You see? But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and go take care of this baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I triggered y'all in the best way possible. Shout out to Sun for her comment that triggered me and allowed for this video to happen. Sun, I love you. I hope you made it to the end of this video. I hope you watched this video. I am so appreciative of your trigger because, honey, I do not want to live in fear. And I feel like living in fear is a cycle. The more I live in fear, even if I'm doing it as a motivational way, eventually that's going to become my routine. That's going to become habit. And I don't want that. So kudos to you. Shout out to you. If you trigger me, it's because you love me. If I trigger you, it's because I love you and I want the best for you. Okay? Jazz taught me that. Because her ass be triggering the fuck out of me in them readings. And I be like, I'm always trying to defend myself, and I'm noticing, like, I don't always gotta do that, baby. I don't always gotta do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share it on all your social medias. And I am out of here, you guys.